Hey Golden Gun, I think it has been a little while since I made a video in response to you. Not that this video actually asked for responses, but you said a few things and I thought I had to put in my 2 cents. You listed your reasons for believing. As you know, the wonder of the world around us. Simple things like staring at the stars on a clear night. And I can see back, let's see, probably when I was about 14, 15, that I could entirely identify with that point of view. Unfortunately for me, and I say unfortunately because it was a bit of a painful process, education killed my religiousness, I think. That's the best way to put it. Education in a variety of subjects. Learning about the way that the physical world works. So, like physics, biology, chemistry, all that good stuff. After you gain a sufficient understanding of the workings, the mechanisms behind physical things in the world, the more of a mess the whole system appears to be. And that was a problem for me, especially when I was trying to reconcile my concept of the Hebrew God with the creation of creation of the world. When I, just a stupid human, can look at, say, I don't know, the vascular system, my own when me, a stupid human, when I can look at my own vascular system and I can point out things that are blatantly designed poorly and how I, a stupid human, could do a better job even though I'm not that bright. That kind of a realization was devastating to my religious belief. I eventually got to the point where it was clear to me that the God, as described in the Abrahamic traditions, Judaism, and then Christianity, and then Islam in that order. But I was, raised Jewish, so I focused entirely on the God discussed in the Torah. I saw how the description given doesn't fly. It doesn't. It's what you would expect a Bronze Age myth to be like. And then I didn't. Doing some research into philosophy, ethics, and logic made me realize that the Creator God, as described in the Torah, was also logically impossible. So that increased my doubt. But the one thing that cemented my dismissal of religion, dismissal of Judaism, the religion of my ancestors, was researching the history of the Hebrew people themselves. Not just them, specifically, but in parallel with researching other cultures in the world, noticing their similarities, noticing their differences. And seeing all the parallels in the functions of the various religions of the various cultures. And as easily as I dismissed, say, the Mayan religion as being accurate, I had to regretfully dismiss Judaism as being inaccurate too. That was a profound, probably heartbreaking moment. But something like that you can't recover from. I'm not sure if that's the right word. You can't go back. As soon as you make that neural connection in your brain, there's no going back. A creationist could come up with any clever argument, appeal to emotion that they want, and it would never sound convincing to me. The loss of my religion was a profoundly changing experience. It was a profoundly, I would say, devastating experience. There was a depression that followed, and it was such a difficult thing to go through. I don't think most people could handle it. I think that a lot of people, even people that are entirely rational and intelligent, the concept of this creator God in the sky is such an emotionally comforting thing to believe in that a person who would otherwise be rational and objective will cling to this idea in a very, I don't even, what's the word to describe it? Tenaciously, I guess. It is such a part of their identity that they can't disregard it. And if any factual information finally gets to sink in, or if any logical reasoning finally bridges the gap, as it were, finally, shatters the concept, it would be devastating to that person. And I think the effect is probably increased over time. So somebody like me, who lost their religion in their later teenage years, I wouldn't even admit that I was an atheist by, I must have been 24 or so. I probably was an agnostic or non-religious Jew from about 18 or, probably about 18 or 19. And it was difficult to deal with then. I couldn't imagine now, I'm 27, if I had clung to that idea until now, I'm not sure that I would be able to dismiss it. Regardless of evidence, I would be, I guess you could say, delusional, and that would be accurate. Though I understand why when the Rational Response Squad called a religious person suffering from a mental disorder, that's entirely inaccurate, because a religion is a social phenomenon. Not, if there's like one guy in a park talking to somebody who's not there, he might be suffering from a mental disorder. But when a group of people keep telling themselves that, you know, there's a God in the sky and he listens to prayers, that's different, because there's a social structure involved. It's not one person off by themselves, it's a whole group of people that are reinforcing that idea with each other. So, yeah. I felt kind of good to blab about it for a while. I'm not sure if this video was actually helpful to anybody. It's for me anyway.